I get a lot of criticism, both in my own comment sections and on the broader internet. Today I want to respond to some of the common themes of this criticism. I am often accused of wanting to kick Maori out of the political left. I am accused of only caring about the white working class. They make me out to be some kind of national Bolshevik or Strasserite. Of course, this is very disingenuous. Never have I tried to remove Maori from the left, whatever that even means. I have criticised radical elements of pro-Maori politics. Many of these people are Pakeha. It has nothing to do with removing an ethnicity from the political left. The only people I know who support the Maori Party are Pakeha. Every Maori person I know seems to find the Maori Party very frustrating. And the Maori Party only gets about 3% of the popular vote, when Maori are about 16% of the population, and many of those votes come from Pakeha. Making me out to be some kind of anti-Maori racist is massively disingenuous, and it downplays the seriousness of that accusation. One of my main criticisms of the Maori Party is that they endanger Maori, which they do. They normalise racism, they drag racist rhetoric into the mainstream, and they seek to create political chaos. These things are hugely dangerous for a marginalised ethnic minority. If I didn't care about Maori, I wouldn't oppose the Maori Party. The Maori Party will almost certainly never have any real power. To the extent they do have power, they will serve only to create a racist political environment. I wholeheartedly reject any assertion that I am anti-Maori. The pro-worker policy agenda that I advocate would benefit Maori massively. I have been accused of using right-wing talking points and values to justify left-wing policy. Apparently some people don't understand the concept of attempting to convince those who disagree with you. I want right-wingers to support left-wing policy, so I emphasise the relationship between right-wing values and left-wing policies. Persuading someone requires that we make a genuine appeal to their values. And some right-wing values are good values. Some of my values are right-wing values. Order, security, opportunity, liberty, personal responsibility. Each of these values has a significant role to play in a healthy society. These values may be associated with the political right, they may even be associated with bad policy, but that does not necessarily mean that the values themselves are bad. Good values have led to plenty of bad policy making on the left. We would be wise to not forget it. Policies can be separated from their underlying values. They do not always reflect poorly on their underlying values. Any values, no matter how noble, can give rise to a bad policy if the policymakers lack rationality. Most of the criticism I face arises from my criticism of the Maori Party. Right-wing critics usually just screech insults at me. The left usually prefers to attempt to cancel you and denounce you as a fascist. It is quite funny. I am often accused of hurting the left by promoting division. Some people have it in their heads that the left needs to be totally unified. Nobody should criticise anyone ever. Unless, of course, you are criticising Labour, that is fine, and Labour is just expected to take it. It is very weird. Notice that the right is not like this. ACT literally paid for ads attacking Winston Peters. David Seymour has accused National of being Labour painted blue. National published thinly veiled attack ads encouraging people to avoid voting for New Zealand First. And Winston Peters openly hates David Seymour and the ACT Party. The right-wing parties hate each other. That never stopped them from getting into government. The idea that the left needs to always be totally unified is total nonsense. It makes us look unhinged. The Maori Party is deranged, and when the left fails to condemn this, we end up looking blind. It drives people insane. They end up feeling like they are insane. Because the left has serious issues, it is totally incapable of acknowledging. That needs to end. We should criticize bad behaviour on our side. We should root it out. That is how a political movement stays healthy. We should not police each other over every little thing. But right now, some parties are getting away with ridiculous rhetoric and stupid policy. This is not acceptable. Only a partisan hack can accept this, and I am not a partisan hack. Most of the criticism I get is meaningless. It is incredibly rare that I get a decent substantive criticism. Meaningless insults account for 99% of criticism. People disagree, but cannot comprehend why. They have been told to disagree by their political side, so they mindlessly reject ideas that they cannot even argue against. They call me a fascist, a communist, a socialist, a racist, but I don't care. I have even been accused of being a foreign operative from Britain or Russia who is attempting to weaken New Zealand by promoting division. I mean, imagine how insane you would have to be to throw around accusations like that. This narrative used to be quite common, especially when I started harshly criticising the Maori Party. It is also not clear to me why a British operative would argue that New Zealand should sever ties to the British monarchy. Equally so, it is not obvious to me why a Russian operative would be so pro-Ukraine. But some people have very delusional ways of viewing the world, and come up with criticisms which are utterly nonsensical on every conceivable level. Here I have responded to some of the common themes and narratives that are espoused by my numerous detractors. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me.